And here it is. Turn off your brain. I know that sounds weird. We can make everything sound marketing-y, can't we? The one thing guaranteed to blah, blah, blah. Turn off your brain. How does it work? Story at 11. See page 12, etc. This is what I mean. I'm teaching this class right now. It's awesome. Really, really fun. Anyone who's in the class right now, I sure do appreciate you taking it with me. It's a branding class showing everybody how to use intent-based branding. And incidentally, if you are interested in learning how to do that, go to brandingcall.com. It is, almost hit the wrong button. Don't do that. Sorry. There we go. It's on the screen. If you go to brandingcall.com, you'll see the ugliest web page ever. At least the top 10 ugly web pages. And that web page will ask you a couple questions, and it'll give you the ability to schedule a call with my office if you're interested in taking our class. So anyway, I was teaching the class today, and it was really, really cool. And I had this great presentation for them, and it went over really, really well. And in the presentation, I was like, all right, here's exactly what to do. And at the end of the presentation, I had a whole lot of questions that were like, yeah, but what if I want to do this? And what if I want to do this? And what if I want to do this? And how long should it be? And what time of day should I go on? And all that kind of stuff. And my reaction to that is one of total understanding because I am no different. I will overthink something and weird myself out right up there like it was my job, man. Like I'm trying out for the Weird Out Olympics, so I get it, right? But the one thing that you can do to get more stuff done and to sell more stuff is to turn that off, to turn off the overthinking and the overanalyzing and the what ifs and how much should I do and what time. And I guess really what I'm trying to say is turn off the perfectionism and just say, all right, let's see what happens, which is like a really good approach when it comes to trying to get stuff done. It's like, man, I got to do this. What's the perfect way to do it? I don't know. Let's test it and see what happens. I'll give you a case in point. All right. So I've been hyper busy lately, really, really busy, and really grateful to be this busy. It's a good sign when you got a lot of stuff to do. And I needed to build an email campaign. And I kind of forgot that I had put this email campaign in my calendar. And our email campaigns are almost always something that's structured like this. It's called a 4-day cash machine 2.0. And the campaign is you send people to some content that's relevant about something. In this case, I emailed my list to a YouTube video about how to come up with multiple sales angles. And then if they watch that content, you make them an offer that's relevant or relative to the stuff that they watched, So our campaign for email this week is, hey, I made you this video. It's all about sales angles and stuff. And then if they watch it, it's like, hey, if you liked that video, it's part of a bigger series about intent-based branding. And we've got this class. And if you want to take it, you can go to brandingcall.com and schedule an appointment with Tyler. So that's kind of the messaging of the campaign, right? And I was like, man, I totally forgot that I needed to build all of this stuff, and of course, like the desire to have it perfect kicked in. It's like, oh, I should take the video from YouTube and put it on a web page and put a headline over the video and then a link for them to go to brandingcall.com, under the video, and then maybe some text and all this kind of stuff. And that totally spun me out, not in a bad way, but like, oh gosh, okay, here's the rabbit hole. What do I got to do? Making that to-do list. And finally, I kind of heeded my own advice, which is rare. By the way, I'll be the first to admit. I was like, Kern, dude, shut up, man, chill, mellow out, man. And so what I ended up doing was I wrote an email broadcast that was like, hey, I put this video on YouTube for you, and it shows you how to do this stuff, and I hope you like it. Go here. And literally just put a link to the video in YouTube, and then set it up to where if anyone clicked that link, then they would get a follow-up email that said, hey, you want to talk to us about taking this class? And it took all of 40 minutes max to, set all of that kind of stuff up. And it would take a normal person even shorter. I just type still with 4 fingers, 19 years at the keyboard, 4 fingers, you know what I mean? So I get it, right? But here's the thing. If you'll just at first, and I think this applies to everything except really life and death stuff. This wouldn't apply to cardiologists, but if you'll just at first be like, you know what, I'm just going to do something. And then if I need to adjust course, I will. I promise you'll get more stuff done. And you'll find that you might not have to adjust course as much as your mind is telling you you're going to have to. So typically what all of the perfectionism really is a means of procrastinating. That's why I always recommend that we go live a lot, to create content. It's like, dude, let's just go live. And once that green light's on, well, for me, I'm on my computer monitor talking to you, so I'm just staring at the green light so I can try to make eye contact with you. Once the green light's on, the pretense kind of flies out the window, and it's time to start getting the content out there. And it sort of makes you do it. You know what I mean? It just makes you do it. And again, by the way, if you're interested in like using all this stuff that we talk about regularly in these lives, which is this intent-based branding methodology, I am teaching another class about it. I don't have a fancy sales letter for the class up yet. Don't really feel like writing one. Might write one eventually, but if you're interested in taking it, go to brandingcall.com. On that page, it's remarkably professional. You'll see a blue button that says start. And then when you click it, you'll see a couple of questions, and then you like answer the questions, and you can schedule a time to talk to Tyler, who sounds like a vampire right now because he's got like lost his voice. So you'll either talk to him or Kate, who sounds like a very nice, pleasant person. And simple process. They'll help you brainstorm some ideas on how to do this stuff and how to build your brand. And if you like it, then they can tell you about the class and you can take it or not. And speaking of classes, I'll tell you my little secret on how I've created products to sell. This goes all the way back to Mass Control, which I created in like, I forgot, 2008 or something. So this is a 10-year-old method, give or take a year. I think that's accurate though. A 10-year-old method that has never failed in terms of like getting stuff done. Okay, here it is. So when I'll create a new product, like a class, instead of trying to map everything out perfectly and then shoot all this video content and put it in a members area and make all that stuff work, which is like rocket science, instead of doing that, what I found very, very effective is to sell the class as a live class, like, hey, I'm going to teach this every Monday. And then every Monday, do the best I can for that week. And then if it ain't good enough, listen to what the students say. Like if they have a lot of questions, like, hey, will you clarify this? I didn't quite understand it. What are you talking about there? This doesn't quite make sense to me. Then I'll know that I need to redo it and reteach that and clarify it. So when it's time to make like the official fancy one, I've already gotten all the perfection out of the way. I've gotten the real world market feedback, and you can proceed from there. But if I, or most people, who cares about me, right? If the average person were to have to sit there and like make everything perfect instead of getting that real world feedback, they never get anything done. I'm like that too, it's hell. If you said, all right, Frank, you got to make a 6-week training right now, and everything's got to be perfect before you release it for sale, it would never get sold. Because I'd be like, well, should I make the intro look like this? What color should the members area be? Oh man, what video dimension should it be? And all that kind of stuff. So I guess like another thing that would fall under that category of this one thing will help you get more stuff done and sell more stuff. That one thing is probably real-time market feedback, like actual feedback as a result of doing something. Like, hey, rather than wondering what the email copy should be, how about you send an email, and if people open it and click it, it was pretty good copy. If they don't, write another one and send that. Real world market feedback really, really beats everything. And what we're finding in terms of real world market feedback right now for marketing, for sales, for goodwill, for content, is just going live on social. And when you get a winner, meaning you get something where people are really engaging with you and they're really, really happy about it and they really find what you said to be valuable, when you get that real world market feedback, boom, I have a pillar upon which to start building a brand. If like every time I talk about XYZ, if that's a really hot topic, I know, hey, I need to start making a lot of stuff about this one thing. And incidentally, that one broadcast, that could be chopped up, used as an ad, reshot, distributed across multiple platforms, etc. Right? So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I've got a call with not Australia, just hung up with Australia. Been a long day, man. Got a call with a client in Texas here shortly. The whole thing of like creating content and stuff is part of a bigger picture play called intent-based branding. It's working unbelievably well for us. We're so happy about it, and it's really working great. The students in the class, we're in our second week of the class. It's going fantastically. People love it. I'm having a great time teaching it. And if you would like to enroll in our training on how to do this, how to build a brand, how to use social media content to not only really build up your own presence online, but to like really help people a lot in the process, and of course sell things, then you might like our training. Go to brandingcall.com right there on the screen. If someone would type it in the what do you call it there, the comments, I sure would appreciate it. And you can schedule a call to talk to my team. It'll either be Tyler or Kate. They're both super nice. Tyler sounds like he swallowed a buzzsaw right now, poor guy. He sounds like he's 85 years old and was born smoking cigarettes. So it might be Kate that you end up talking to. She's delightful. And so she's super nice. So not a fancy website or anything, just a pretty quick scheduling type of thing right there. Now let's see. I've got a couple more minutes before this call. So I think I'll answer some questions. Why not? Let's have some fun, right? What can I help you guys with? Let's see what my man Gary Gully says here. Look at that, putting the comment on the screen. He says, all right, see if I can read, my dang eyes are so bad. What advice do you have for a first-time e-commercer who doesn't know where or how to break into the business and all that much about intent-based branding, marketing, etc.? First thing, dude, is you got to have something to sell, right? This is a great question, by the way. So I'm assuming that you have a thing that you're going to sell via e-commerce. And by the way, anytime someone says e-commerce to me, I'm thinking physical goods, like t-shirts or pet food or whatever, juggling batons or something, right? So you got to have something to sell, A. So let's assume that's like a given, right? So the next point is, okay, you have to ask yourself, why is the person buying this? All right. So let's say you're, selling, gosh, I don't know, carpet cleaner, right? You're selling some sort of carpet cleaner that takes stains out of the carpet. And so I'm trying to get like really, really common and mundane here to illustrate that this methodology is useful in just about any environment. So let's say you got the carpet cleaner thingy, you got your website built, and you're able to sell the carpet cleaner stuff. So the way you would use intent-based branding is you would start making content that shows people how to remove stains from their carpet. With the idea being, if they're watching that stuff, they probably have stains in their carpet, and then you're going to want to make offers for the carpet cleaner repeatedly. Almost like you're on Home Shopping Network doing a demonstration. Just doesn't need to be well produced or fancy, right? So you'd be like, all right, it's Crazy Eddie here today, and as you know, we always come to you and just get stains out of carpets. One thing, if you got carpet, you're going to have stains no matter how hard you try. As a matter of fact, probably the harder you try, the more stains you're liable to have. It seems to be the case in my house anyway. So today what we've got is a bunch of mud drug in the house by about 5 7-year-old boys. The kids were out there playing football in the yard. It had rained earlier, and they have pretty much, I think it was almost intentional. They're trying to change the color of the carpet. So how do you get it out? Well, first thing you want to do, and then, you're showing them, right? You got the brush out or whatever, and then you pause about every 2 minutes during that and say, by the way, everyone's always asking what the best thing to get stains out of the carpet is. This is what we manufacture and sell. It's Super Stain Remover 20,000 here. You can get it at website.com. Now, anyway, let me get back to showing you how to get this stuff out. Do a lot of stuff like that and you're gold. And the reason why is this, right? First of all, people like it. It's genuinely helpful to them. Nobody else does it. They can see the product being used, which is awesome. Okay, so that's reason number one. Reason number two is you can build an audience of people who are watching that content and you can remarket to them. Kind of logically speaking, not many people are going to be watching carpet cleaning videos unless they got stains and stuff in the carpet. Okay, let's see. Sean Casey says, what concept have you personally seen to really resonate with people? I wonder what you mean there. I probably should have read that. Probably should have read that comment before I highlighted it, because I'm not sure I understand the question very much. At least maybe you're asking if like what subject matter that I've seen personally is really resonating with people. And I would have to say it's this one. This idea of using social media to build a big brand through being very, very helpful. That's really, really resonating well. And within that, pillar, we've got a couple of things that we talk about under that big umbrella. The first one is create content and publish it regularly. And the stuff that's really resonating with folks is the fact that it doesn't have to be fancy. That, hey, look, you can just do stuff like this, and it's the engagement that matters, not the amount of fans, not the amount of followers, not how cool you try to make yourself look, case in point, right? So that's, for me, is resonating very, very, very well, and it's working out great. And speaking of that, by the way, if it's resonating with y'all and you want to take our class, go to brandingcall.com. Watch it. Here he goes. I'm going to show it on the screen. Look at there. BeLive.tv. Heck of an app. Go to brandingcall.com. Ugliest page you've seen on the internet so far, probably. Big blue button says start here. Asks you a few questions and gives you the opportunity to schedule a call with our office. Here's how that call will go. So what are you selling? XYZ. Cool. Oh, well, how are you thinking about utilizing intent-based branding? All right, cool. Well, here's some ideas on how to do it. What do you think? Awesome. You want to take our class? Yes, no, either answer is okay. Right? We are a very non-pushy organization. Not my style. Don't care for it. Doesn't really go with the whole thing here. Oh, cool. Sean Casey said I answered the question well. Awesome. All right. Let's see. So this is a good one from Adam Fiddler. Man, it takes up most of the screen. I'm going to have to stand up like this. He says, do you make some kind of offer to ascend into a part of your funnel on every single piece of content you're producing, or do I mix it up? He's having trouble understanding where the branding part of the equation comes in. Isn't the content basically creating an interactive lead magnet in a sense? Kind of, yes. That's a great way to describe that, an interactive lead magnet. I'm going to take this off the screen because I can't see y'all. So, get off of there. There we go. Okay. And show. Am I cool for my man in Texas? Yeah, I got a few more minutes. All right. So here's the thing. Okay. First of all, I make an offer every time. And we offer different stuff. Actually, we offer two things. We have our book funnel, which is frank+kernbook.com. So you can go get the book if you like. It's pretty good. And then we have the branding class. It's also pretty good. So you can go to brandingcall.com and learn about that. And depending on what I'm talking about, I'm going to make one of those two offers. And I'm going to do it every single time. Now, you had mentioned the word ascending, right? And it is interesting and worth noting that the ascension model, which is the model of like starting with something inexpensive and then going to a bigger purchase and a bigger purchase and finally having like the main thing, still works, still awesome. Nothing bad to say about it. You don't have to do it anymore. So if your main thing is you want to sell, masterminds or something, right? Let's just like something we can all relate to. Let's say your main thing is a mastermind for, X thousand dollars, $22,000 is totally making the price up. All right. Used to be you'd have to like sell a product and then get a whole bunch of people at the product. And then they, get them to come to an event that was centered around the product. And then you'd offer the mastermind to everybody at the event. You don't have to do that anymore because of social media. You can now use this strategy to go directly to the very top of your funnel if you want to. And the reason why is because we're freaking lucky, right? That's really the reason why. See, ascension, this business where you would put something out, and then you get a customer for a little bit of money, and then they would like buy more and more stuff at greater increasing prices from you. That all came from early days of direct response when people had to use the mail and they had to use newspaper ads. And you had to go to Western Union and stuff. And the reason why is because very few people, if anybody back then, and even still today, could take a total stranger and in one advertising setting, get them to buy something very expensive. So if we were to run an ad in the newspaper in like 1925 or something, it's going to cost us a lot of money. And if we run the ad for like our most expensive thing, it's probably not going to work because we don't have that relationship. So people would sell something that was inexpensive as a means to like kind of recoup some of that ad cost. And then they would direct mail those buyers and all this kind of stuff. And it was great. And it's still totally viable. There's no like, oh, that's dead, it's dumb. No, it's not dead, it's not dumb, it's awesome. It's just unnecessary now because on social media, and like really, this is the only platform you could do it on: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, podcasting. What's the other one? LinkedIn. Now we have the ability to accelerate that relationship really, really quickly and do it either A, for free, by content that like you're watching right now, or B, really inexpensively through paid advertising by showing people content like this and then retargeting them if they engage with that content. So I think, it's, I don't want to sound dramatic or anything, but really, number one, we're living in an age where the opportunity is just like mind-boggling, kind of to the point I'm thinking, what in the hell have I done? Like I should be doing, $100 million a month or something. This is crazy because we really can get in front of everybody, right? It's the playing field is level. Like right now, there are 91 people watching this, which is amazing. Imagine what it would cost to get 91 people to watch anything without social media. Like what if we were doing Google AdWords to a webinar and this was the webinar and I had to get 91 people on that webinar? Well, actually, I can reverse engineer the math for you. Yeah, we're going to end on a fun note, math, right? So let's assume you have what do you want to say? 35% show up rate on the webinar. So let's say it costs $8 to get people to register, right? And let's see, we have, now there's 89 people. So 89 divided by 30, what did I say? 35%. That's 254 registrants we would need in order to get 85 people on. Let's say it costs $8 to get a registrant from like AdWords or whatever, right? Remember, there's no more social media in this equation. So 254 times 8 is $2,000 it would cost me in advertising dollars to get this engagement right now without social media, and it's costing zero right now, right? And that's not me. I'm not like, look at me, this is amazing. It's like, dude, this is everybody. The playing field is level. There's no more barrier now. If you have phone or laptop with camera on it and can talk and are willing to put in the work to constantly provide that value to your market, you can build a giant brand just as much as anybody else. And that is why I think this time in history is freaking amazing. Like unbelievable, So if you want to harness it, man, what a perfect time to segue into an offer, right? If you want to take advantage of it and use intent-based branding, that's the methodology that I practice and what we teach. You might be interested in taking our branding class. To find out more about it, go to brandingcall.com. Have no fancy sales letter or sales video or webinar or anything like that. What you can do, though, is schedule a time to talk to Tyler or Kate from my team. They're both super nice. They'll brainstorm some ideas with you on how to do it. And if you're interested in the class, they'll tell you about it. Super simple and laid back. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming on here. Sorry I missed you yesterday. Between us girls, man, I got a toothache that is like serious business to the point going to the dentist tomorrow. Already afraid. I mean, this is like 22 hours from now, already afraid. The dentist, I'm like, had to call and schedule it myself. It sucks, man. I think I cracked a tooth that's got a root canal. I'm sure that's endlessly fascinating to everybody, so I'll stop talking about it right now. But thank you so much for being on. I'm going to go talk to my client now. I'll come on tomorrow before the root canal or before the scary dentist and see if we can do some more good. I really appreciate your attention. I'll see you soon. Have a good evening.